In the fall of 2002, I faced the toughest decision of my life. As a free agent, I had to choose between staying with the team I had always played for in a city that I loved or moving on to greener pastures. I'll tell you one thing, it was going to take a lot to get me to leave Cleveland. From the minute I got to Philadelphia, I had a good feeling. I was greeted warmly by people who had hardly seen me play. The front office had an impressive plan. They were focused and committed to winning. There was a new ballpark right around the corner, and this was a blue-collar, no-nonsense sports town. But most importantly, I looked at this team and I knew they had a chance to win. As a player, ultimately, the bottom line is that you want to challenge yourself and get a chance to win, and I think that's what our decision was in this process. It's a pleasure to be here. I've heard a lot of great things about Philadelphia. I'm excited. I mean, life's all about new challenges, and you know, I'm here in Philadelphia to win a championship. And so my adventure began. I got to start my baseball life all over again, in a city that wears its passion on its sleeves, on an exciting young ball club ready to turn the corner, for a franchise that was about to embrace its past, then turn toward its future. It was going to be a great ride. Thank you very much.
Really looking forward.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Spring training. I always loved Clearwater and Little Jack Russell Stadium. It's what Florida baseball is all about. From day one, my new teammates made me feel welcome. My philosophy is baseball is a game and should be treated as such. I know it's a big business, but you gotta have some fun out there or it's not worth doing. And it looked like we had some fun guys on this club.
What's going on? A highlight from M2K3, baby. Here we go again.
Over the winter, my wife Andrea and I had our first daughter, Lila Grace. Leave it to John Kruk to discuss fatherhood.
Power guy, are you hands-on with the baby?
Well,
diapers and all that?
I'm somewhat. That's the wife there. She kind of takes charge there. And not that I wouldn't, you know, but
it's tough with them big mitts.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I got to be careful there grabbing her too much. One of the cool things about the Phillies is they keep a lot of the stars from the past around. I mean, if I can't learn a few things from Mike Schmidt, then I'm not trying.
Homie's looking for a theme song when he walks to the plate, you know? Something tells me I'm into something good.
I was 10 years old when Tug McGraw danced off the mound in October of '80, and Schmitty jumped in his arms. It seems like yesterday I watched that on TV back in Peoria. Now here I was in spring training with both of them. It's a funny world. Tug was practicing for opening day when he would catch the first ball thrown by Bill Giles from a helicopter. He's the epitome of a guy who has fun all the time.
You definitely will catch it behind the back on opening day.
Well, yeah. There's no other way to do it.
Then one day he didn't show up for practice.
Former Phillies relief pitcher Tug McGraw is in a Clearwater, Florida hospital after taking ill today. McGraw is a Phillies guest pitching instructor in camp, and there's no word on what caused his illness. We will have more on this story as it develops.
Updating the condition of Tug McGraw. He has been transferred to a cancer center in Tampa. McGraw has been diagnosed with 2 brain tumors.
One day, Phillies great Tug McGraw is preparing to pitch batting practice to his son. The next day, the 58-year-old is being diagnosed with brain cancer.
It is a serious situation, and again, the family's just appreciative of everybody's concern about Tug as we are.
And so we left Florida under a dark cloud. One of our own was in trouble. Opening day is always special. There's a buzz of anticipation that you don't find before any other game. This year was a little different for me. I was in a new league with a whole set of new pitchers I had to learn. And for the first time in quite a while, America was at war on opening day. Don't think that wasn't on our minds as we started the long journey to October.
Well socked in the gap in right center field, off the base of the fence. Here comes Abreu being waved around. Jim Thome, welcome to the Fighting Phils.
It's great to be here, Harry. Kevin Millwood was also new to the Phillies. He arrived from the Braves via trade and was eager to establish himself as the #1 starter.
The Phillies win the opener of 2003 by a score of 8-5 over the Florida Marlins. Line smash in the gap in left center field. Pearl's going to score without a throw. Phillies lead at 6-1 on an RBI double by David Bell.
David Bell was also a free agent signed in the offseason.
Wow. Jim Thome is now 6 for 8 on the season.
Now, I'm not usually a fast starter, so it was kind of good to get the season going with some success. We took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. It was important for us new guys to get out of the gates in good shape.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you're aware, Tug McGraw could not be here today because he is in Florida recovering from surgery. We ask all of you to please stand and wave your Phillies rally towels to let the Tugger know we are thinking about him and praying for him. Tug, as you taught all of us, you gotta believe.
The home opener was a gray, chilly day, much the same as the first game ever played here in 1971. It was the start of a season-long celebration to remember the vet. A bunch of players from the 70s came back to join the party.
Tony Taylor, how are you?
Yeah, I remember you.
You remember me, huh?
I remember you.
You watching me play or what?
Yeah.
I can play or no? Play a little bit, huh?
Yeah, you can play a little bit.
Enjoy it.
Batting fourth, number 25, first baseman, Jim Thome.
Now I knew I was playing in a real baseball town.
Number 37, Real Cormier.
Oh yeah, there's that reputation I heard about. But it wouldn't be long before Real turned those boos around.
His first at bat at Veterans Stadium, smokes it to deep left center field. Out I know, off the top of the fence. Thome heading for third. He's there with a triple. I can't believe that ball didn't go out.
It was a great start to my Veterans Stadium career. Unfortunately, the rest of the day didn't go as planned.
It's out of here, grand slam, Reggie Sanders.
But the next day, the offense exploded.
He's got himself a 5-hit game. In the gap all the way back to the fence. And the Phillies lead is 14-1, the 5th hit of the afternoon for Jimmy Rollins.
Now there's a guy who has fun playing ball. Back in the 70s, the Pirates were the Phillies' biggest rival. Every year, it seemed like the two teams slugged it out for the NL East. It was great to see the Pirates in those funky yellow unis again. On Sunday's game, Brett Myers showed that electric stuff that's going to make him a great pitcher.
Myers strikes out the side. That is 4 strikes.
And up in the broadcast booth, Senator Jim Bunning had some great comments about his old teammate.
What are your recollections of Bo as a teammate?
that he was the biggest red ass that I've ever played with. I hope people don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but he was on edge, to say the least, every day.
Next, the Braves came in.
Bouncing ball up the middle. It's a base hit coming into scoreboard.
And Tomas Perez started a trend that would continue through the season. Late inning lightning.
Ground ball base hit off the bat of Tomas Perez. Well struck to deep left center. Watch that baby out of here. Jim Toby's first Philly home run is a 3-run shot.
It's always good to get that first one, and they seem to come in bunches.
Well hit. Watch this, baby. Could it be another one? Out of here.
Meanwhile, the Fanatic seems to have invented his own military mosh pit. Then we rolled into Cincy, where the offense exploded again.
3-run home run for Ricky Leday, and it's a 13-run inning for the Phillies. 13-0.
Oh, my.
Back home, we took 2 more from the Marlins and threw a little leather around in the process.
Throw across. Breaks it out. Game over. Great play by Jim Toby as the Phils hang on to win 4-3.
On April 19th, Vicente Padilla took them out against the Braves.
Jim struck him right out of there.
Now, a year ago, I found out how tough he could be. And he's got a little mean streak in him, too. That night, the Braves were no match.
1-2-3, 9th inning, a 4-hit complete game shutout, Vicente Padilla. What a job by the 25-year-old from Nicaragua.
Back home, rookie Chase Utley had an unforgettable Major League debut.
It is out of here! Grand slam home run, Chase Utley. Welcome to the show, Mr. Utley.
But you know, there's a price for success. And the next day, John Kruk hatched a plan to further initiate the rookie. Chase was called into the manager's office to discuss the legitimacy of his home run.
You know, as a 10-year Major League vet, I'm a member of the Major League Baseball Rules Committee, and we had some problems with you. They didn't put you on the roster, so we're going to have to. Phillies.
Yeah, we didn't get the computer work didn't get done when we made the recall from Scranton, trying to rush to get him off the bus.
They're going to fine the Phillies $250,000. You have to forfeit every game that Chase has participated in this year.
The game he pinched hit too? They went 0 for 1?
Yes.
So you're supposed to let these guys know a week ahead of time when you call somebody up?
Bo, it's not on me. I'm trying to help here. That's why
I think it's Ruben's fault.
Sure.
Now, did you drive or fly here?
I drove.
You drove? Yeah. That might help, but I think what Major League Baseball wants to see, they want to see a plane ticket to know that you were actually called by the Phillies. You didn't drive up here by yourself. That could be a problem. So we're going to try to, like I said, we're going to try to fix that. Now, do you own or rent in Scranton? And here, in Philly, do you?
I'm staying in a hotel.
Oh, gosh. You know what the biggest problem is with this whole thing? Do you honestly think Major League Baseball would make me a member of the Rules Committee?
All right.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Sunday, April 27th was a special day in many ways. It was the first warm day of the season. Real springtime baseball weather. And the Fanatic was celebrating his birthday. He doesn't act 24. And Kevin Millwood was about to make history.
When you walk out of the bullpen, start the game, you're sitting here in the dugout. Did you feel anything special about today?
No, it felt like I hoped that we would score a whole bunch of runs because I was 10 would have been nice.
Powering drive to right center. It's deep, and it is out of here. Home run, Ricky Leday.
And that was the only run of the game. The Giants were defending National League champs and had a real powerful lineup. But he had that tailing fastball working perfectly.
Struck him out. Hans caught looking. 10 strikeouts for Kevin Millwood, who has a no-no through 7.
What happened in this dugout? Did anyone speak to you? Did people treat you like you had the plague or something?
They did. You know, I thought maybe I stunk pretty bad or something. Nobody wanted to get around me.
Whoever made up that rule? I mean, there's probably been 150, 200 close no-hitters, and no one wants to talk to the guy. How do you think that guy feels? Tight as heck, worrying about a no-hitter? Heck, I went down there and said, heck, I've been through a few of them, never saw one. I might as well go tell him, go get you some.
Brady probably didn't know there was a no-hitter.
The game seemed to be flying by, and everyone was in the zone. I had never been on the winning end of a no-hitter. I wanted the ball hit to me.
Space. Toby has it. That's 2 up. Kevin Millwood is 1 out away from a no-hit, no-run. Should be it. Should be it. Ricky Leday is there. He puts it away, and Kevin Millwood has pitched a no-hit, no-run game at Veterans Stadium. Look at the dugout come swarming out to Huff Millwood, White Rita, everybody on their feet here at Veterans Stadium, 30,000 plus. What a day.
I guess you could say I have an all-or-nothing swing.
Whoa, if this was fair, let's see.
Well, nothing is more fun than when you get all of it.
Monster home run by Jim Thome, way up into the upper deck in right field.
Another guy who liked to reach the upper deck at the Vet is Greg Luzinski. Turns out he's going to have his own restaurant at the new ballpark called Bull's Barbecue. I might just be a regular there next year.
Obviously, I have a respect for food.
On May 10th, Randy Wolf threw his first shutout of the year.
Field, it should be the ball game. Ricky Leday squeezes it. Brilliant job by Randy Wolf. Wolf a 5-hit shutout, his 5th career shutout.
Wolfie was well on his way to establishing himself as one of the best lefties in the game. The next day, we gave up a big lead, then started to chip away.
Oh, yes? That's another one, Johnny. 9-7.
Telling you, it's not over, Wheels. You got to believe.
But the Astros had that big hammer in the pen.
Blew him away, struck him out.
A week later, he got us again.
1-2-3 save for Billy Wagner as Houston takes game 1 of his.
On May 14th, Brett Myers faced one of his boyhood heroes.
An incredible 2-hit shutout for Kurt Schillinger.
Brett brought his A game that night. Unfortunately, Schill was an A+.
He beats the Phillies for the first time in his career.
The season was going along fairly well, but we weren't clicking on all cylinders. Pat was having a tough time at the plate. He probably would have been okay if we'd play all of our road games at Shea Stadium.
Pat Burrell in this ballpark is unbelievable.
He tears that place up.
This ball is out of here. Second home run of the night for Pat Burrell, and this game is tied at 4-4.
The deeper we got into the season, the more I loved the way Placido Polanco plays the game.
Polanco to his right. Got him.
He plays the game right and has a great presence in the clubhouse.
Polanco, I tell you, talk about a professional. That's the only word to describe him as professional.
Paulie's my kind of player. He's an animal.
Yeah.
If there was such thing as an all-fun team, Larry Anderson would be the captain.
Hey, buddy! Yeah. Yeah. Hey!
What are you doing?
Getting ready for photo day with my disposable camera.
By June, the Phillies were kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. First, we swept a doubleheader from the Expos.
Doubleheader, Mesa saves both ends.
Then got swept by the Mariners, with a former Vet Stadium bat boy doing the damage.
Gone. Home run, Brett Boone.
Then we turned around and swept another doubleheader from Oakland.
Hit the air to deep right field. Forget about it. Way back, that ball is gone. Home run, Bobby Abreu, a towering.
That ball is hit well to left, and it is gone. A home run, Placido Polanco, his 6th home run of the year.
It was the first time the A's had returned to Philly after leaving town 49 years ago.
Phillies have swept the doubleheader. Phillies offense using the long balls, situational hitting, working walks, doing everything to score runs, which they did. 15 runs in the doubleheader.
It was mid-June and we were just hanging around the 500 mark. Then a funny thing happened. We were getting blown out in the game against the Reds when Adam Dunn took Levy out at home plate.
They got a play on him. He's going to be out at home plate as he runs Mike Lieberthal over. Well, that's something in a game where it's 10-0 and you do that.
And when Dunn came up next,
He throws it behind. Here we go. Look out. This is a big guy. Oh, Lieberthal with a great tackle. Oh, and then Silva hit him. Well, we knew something was going to happen tonight, but you didn't expect this. It's nasty.
hey, nice tackle, Mike. That's what I like to see, teammates standing up for each other. When you're in battle with 24 other guys, it definitely brings you closer. A couple of years ago, I got into a similar brawl with one of my current teammates, Real Cormier. John Kruk brought us together to relive the past.
It seems like the best action is not between the actual hitter and the pitcher. It's the extracurriculars. Yeah. You know, coming up to bat, something might happen.
You get a feel for it, yeah. I mean, you get a feel that, hey, you know, this guy, he's got to protect his team. I kind of felt the same situation. It was almost like, let's do this and get it over with and now start playing baseball. Or it would have just kept going on, and I think it did. I think it ended it.
Yeah, I think at the time, I think there was a lot of bad blood going on, and it was just, it was sad. It was just
now you're buddies.
Now we're teammates. We laugh about it all the time.
You two want to kiss and make up now? Just make it official? It's a city of brotherly love.
Absolutely. Let's get it home. Come on.
Boy, that Crucky, he should have his own afternoon show.
You guys are crazy.
Dr. John, maybe? I know it's hard to prove, but after that fight, the team went on a tear.
That's well hit. Watch this, baby. Out of here. Home run, David Bell. And the Phillies now lead it 12-1.
First pitch hit to deep center field. This ball game's going to be over. Pucho scores. Phillies win it 5-4 in the bottom of the ninth. David Bell, the hero here at Veterans Stadium tonight.
On June 19th, we had a real character game against the Braves. We were down by 2 as Mike Hampton took a no-hitter into the 8th.
Line drive, right field, falling fast, in for a base hit. And Marlon Byrd breaks up the no-hitter. Now the pitch, line drive, right field, falling fast, in for a base hit. It falls right in front of Gary Sheffield. And the Phillies with the tying runs aboard as Tomas Perez comes through.
Then we had to deal with one of the best closers in baseball.
Smoltz is ready. 1-2 pitch. Flared out into right field, in for a base hit. Marlon Byrd scores. Nick Pucho scores. And on at first with a 2-run single is Placido Polanco.
Junior Allen's line drive to right field. That's a base hit. Here comes Jason Michaels. The throw's going to be late. Bills
The Phillies beat one of the game's great closers this afternoon and take 2 out of 3 from the Atlanta Braves.
That was a huge win. But 2 days later, we had even more thrills.
Swing a long drive. Watch this, baby. Out of here. Home run, Bobby Abreu. The Phillies take a 1-0 lead. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a towering drive to deep right center field. This ball way out of here. Tremendous home run. Jim Colby. And this game is tied at 2 in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
When you're in the zone, you can take the pitcher's best pitch and do what you want with it. Don't go out there.
Swinging a drive, deep center field. He did it! He did it! Home run, Jim Tomey. We're tied at 3. He tied it. He did it. Hit hard in deep center field. Damon going back at the track. Looks up. It's gone. It's gone. Put this one in the win column for the fighting Bills. They're going crazy here at Veterans Stadium.
What a big hit for Pratty.
Todd Pratt coming off the bench, the last play the Phillies had left. Took one pitch from Rudy Serenez down in the dirt and said, let's go home, boys. We got another game tomorrow. 6-5 the final. Phillies.
Hey, if you're going to be the hero, you better get ready for the reward. The best part about that game was that we did it in front of a lot of those Philly stars from the 80s. Schmitty and Lefty and the boys were back for the weekend and got to experience some of those old-time Veteran Stadium goosebumps.
To the Phillies of the 1980s.
Keep it going, boys.
Bouncing ball is short. It might be 2. J-Roll's going to take it himself. It is a 6-3 double play. It is out of here. Dead center field home run to Bobby Abreu. Brett Myers' first shutout in his major league career. The 22-year-old, a 3-hitter. His second complete game, his first career shutout. What a job by Brett Myers.
Now, I'm all about charity. I truly believe it's our obligation as players to give something back. This was my first year to be part of the annual Phillies Festival for ALS, and I couldn't have had a better time. It's a great way for us to come face to face with the fans and give back to the community.
You're going to get 50 home runs at least next year.
So we finally had a name for our new ballpark.
Citizens Bank Park. Not your typical park.
Sounds pretty good to me. I've already been through this new ballpark stuff with Jacobs Field in Cleveland. And let me tell you, it revitalizes your whole program. With a grass field and modern facilities, it really helps the ball club. And the fans get much closer to the action. It's a huge boost to the whole city. This is where my little girl is going to learn the game of baseball. Can't wait to be a part of it. Speaking of modern ballparks, I love Camden Yards. And with all the Phillies fans that travel down there, it almost feels like a home game. On June 27th, we played a game that really showed the strength of our ball club. Brandon Duckworth had to leave early, and the bullpen went on to pitch 15 scoreless innings.
He did. And he went after it, struck him right out of there. And he struck him out to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Cormier. No runs, hits. Fly ball right field.
You can't win without a good bullpen. And our guys were pretty solid most of the year.
No runs, one hit, no errors. Well, we go to the bottom of the 15th, and Dan Plesac will try to keep this a 1-1 game. Struck him out. That's 4 strikeouts for Plesac in 2 innings of work. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We move to the 17th.
The other strength of the team was our bench, and in this game, Jason Michaels came up big.
Still some Phillies fans here. Some Phillies chant sprouts up in the stands. Fly ball to deep left field. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Home run, Jason Michaels. And the Phillies have taken a 4-1 lead here in the 17th inning.
It was like that all year. Guys like Tomas Perez, Todd Pratt, and J. Mike always provided a spark. They always kept the spirits up and had more fun than anybody on the team. They called themselves the Bench Dogs. I love it. The next day, another bench dog got the job done.
Ricky Leday to deep right. Is it high enough? Yes! It's a 2-run home run for Ricky Leday out of that DH spot.
We were wearing our retro uniforms as the Orioles were celebrating the 20th anniversary of their World Series victory over the Phillies.
Well hit, is it a fair ball? It is out of here. Home run, Jim Thome.
Number 20 for Thome, and he is getting hot.
At least we got a little revenge for the old club, sweeping the birds behind the M&M boys, Millwood and Mesa.
On ball second base, Placido Polanco throws out Fordyce. Phillies sweep the series, winning today by a score of 4-3. Jose Mesa with his 17th save, and in his career with the Phillies, 104 saves, the all-time franchise leader. And a green light sends it deep to left, and it's out of here.
Back in Philly, the fans were really starting to come out. Now, I heard a lot about Phillies fans before I came here. They're known for being tough and demanding. To be honest, I think it really helped to motivate me. I wanted to try to lock in from day one. And to my surprise, it was a great experience. For a guy that had never played in this city, I felt welcome right from the start.
Little curtain call for Jim Thome. And he's going to give it to him.
Base hit, center field, Phil's win. Jason Michaels scores. Mike Lieberthal delivers.
By now, we were on a roll, and the vet was turning into a nightly love fest. The term wild card was in everyone's vocabulary.
The Titans win again and make it 7 in a row. Mike Lieberthal delivers with a 2-out. Bases loaded, base hit.
The fans really showed me something in their support of Pat Burrell. I know firsthand what it's like to lose your stroke and struggle at the plate. Believe me, it's no fun. But it's a lot worse when the home crowd gets on your case. Don't think Pat didn't appreciate it. He's a mentally tough kid with a ton of talent, who's going to come out of this just fine. Someday he'll look back at the trials of 2003 and realize it made him stronger. Another guy who was having problems was David Bell. Well, his defense was fine, but his offensive game just wasn't there. Turns out his back was killing him. Not that he'd say anything or make excuses. The guy's a gamer. But he finally had to leave the lineup. On July 3rd, an old friend came back to the ballpark.
Let's welcome home number 45, Tug
Boy, if that's not great medicine, I don't know what is.
And was promised changing the number out in right center field from 39 to 38, Tug McGraw.
tell you, after all the reports we were hearing coming out of spring training, we didn't know if we'd see this day, and what a great moment right here in Phillies baseball. The guy that closed out their only World Series championship and back in town, getting a great ovation by this unbelievable crowd.
On July 7th, Larry Bowa made his most important decision of the year, inserting Marlon Byrd into the leadoff spot. The move paid instant dividends.
Well hit to left field, out of here. Home run, Marlon Byrd. The Phillies now lead it 13-4. How about Marlon Byrd in that leadoff hole? Wow.
Marlon's a great kid with awesome tools. He just needed a boost of confidence. Bo turned him loose in the leadoff spot, and Marlon did some serious damage.
Drive into deep left center field. It's a gamble, and the game is over. It's out of here. 3-run home run, Marlon Byrd. A walk-off home run, and the Phillies win it 5-2. Here in the 11th inning, the 4th hit of the game for Marlon Byrd.
By now, we were leading the wild card race and having a blast. This little party at home plate was getting to be a new vet tradition. The young guys called it the beatdown. The theory is simple. You win the game, you get crushed by your teammates. Can't have much more fun than that. And of course, there's always Tomas to put the cherry on top.
Tomas Perez has struck again.
Oh, man.
Tomas Perez has line drive in the gap in left center field. Base hit, Phil's win. 4-3. Tomas Perez delivers with a hit to left center field, and the Phillies win it in the 11th by a score of 4-3. Tomas being mobbed as he turned the bag at first base. A gapper, a game winner for Tomas Perez as the Phillies have won in 11. Uh-oh, here they come. Here they come.
You knew that was going to happen.
You knew that was going to happen. Tomas Perez, who has been the pie man all year. Now the payback. Now the payback, Tomas.
It was another great night at the Vet, and once again we had a special audience in the house. The '93 Phillies were back for their 10-year reunion. What a bunch that was.
Do a slide in. Center field. Greatest season of
I was just breaking in when those guys were tearing up the league. And boy, did that look like fun. They didn't have the talent of some of their opponents. They just had this intense desire to kick butt and have a ball doing it. Throwback baseball. No wonder they're still loved in this city. I only hope we can bring some of that spirit to Citizens Bank Park. Speaking of ballparks, every fan has that special place, the place where they learn to love baseball. For a lot of people around here, it was the Vet. For me, it was Wrigley Field. Growing up outside of Chicago, my family would often take trips to Wrigley. It was a childhood dream come true for me to play there.
Well, Sock, watch this baby. Way out of here, out of the ballpark. Off the buildings across the street. Phil's lead at 3-0 on a tremendous home run. Jim Thome.
That's one of those balls you just look at in awe off the bat of Jim Thome.
Now, I'm not much for milestones, but this one was special for me. To get my 1,000th career RBI in Wrigley in front of my family and friends was something I'll never forget. Besides, RBIs are kind of a team stat anyway, and my teammates did a great job of getting on base. And speaking of RBIs,
deep to right field, back goes Sosa at the wall. It is a grand slam home run, Bobby Abreu.
Bobby Abreu was quietly having another solid season. He was well on his way to having his second 100 RBI season of his career. You can't find a much more dangerous bat to put in the middle of your lineup. And Bobby is another one of those guys who loves playing the game.
Right field, and this ball is caught brilliantly by Bobby Abreu.
Meanwhile, down in Florida, a new rivalry was beginning to take shape. The Marlins had risen from a very poor start to be a serious contender for the wild card.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a real good one. Save. He does go. He strikes out, strike him out, throw him out. Another laser. And that's going to drop, and that's going to be the ball game. Coming in to score Cabrera, and Florida has swept the series and has beaten the Phillies 8 games in a row.
We were on that yo-yo again. Lose 4 in a row, win 4 in a row. August 3rd was Pat Burrell Bat Day, and the fans were still behind him.
Raise your bats. Pat Burrell's up. Raise your bats. All right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Swing a long drive. Deep left. Watch this baby out of here. On Pat Burrell Bat Day, Pat Burrell smashes one into the seats, and this game is tied at 1-1.
So what did Pat do to celebrate? He dyed his hair, just like the bench dogs.
Swing a long drive. Watch this baby out of here. Line drive, home run. Pat Burrell, and the Phillies take a 7-5 lead here in the 10th inning.
Now, as a fashion statement, I'm not sure it works for everybody. I wonder if it would look good on some other people. That'll work. Ouch. I don't think so. Looking good. In the first weekend of August, we celebrated all the wacky stuff that happened at the vet. What a blast. And look who's in the middle of it. On August 12th, they raised the last piece of steel on Citizens Bank Park. We had all signed the beam, then watched as it topped off the new ballpark. It was a nice tribute to the army of workers that are dedicated to bring it in on time. In mid-August, the Cardinals rolled into town and the atmosphere was electric. They were one of our main rivals for the wild card, and this was our chance to make a statement. The fans were really into it. We came out smoking.
Base hit left field. Tony's going to be waved in the throw from Pujols, and Tony is safe at home plate. And the Phillies lead it 4-0. Now the RBI bounced up the middle. Nice play, Jimmy Rollins to Utley, and they turned the double play on another fine scoop by Jim Thome.
Breaking ball hit high in the air to right field. Back goes Palmeiro at the wall. It's gone! Jim Thome hits that hanging hook into the Phillies bullpen.
All third strike struck save for veteran Dan Plesac.
For game 2, Tug brought his 3 sons.
I got my son Matthew, right here, he's 7. I got my son Tim.
He's
I don't
50.
think he
I'm way older than 7.
I don't think he wants me to tell you how old he is. And then I have my son Mark.
He also brought the karma.
He's from Illinois.
Well, you know,
he's to center field. Edmonds a long run. It's gonna go. Hello, Jim Colby. There it is. What? There you go. Okay.
Amazing how these fans are, isn't it, Tug? I mean, you get a few people out and they love you forever, don't they?
Jose Mesa records his 22nd save as the Bills win by a score of 5-4.
Game 3 was broadcast around the country, and Amari Telemaco rose to the occasion. It was his first big league start in several years, and he looked like he hadn't missed a beat.
The 1-0 pitch. Long drive. Watch this, baby. Tremendous home run. Into the upper deck, and it got there that quick. Jim Colby and the Phillies lead it 4-2, and you talk about crushing the baseball. Wow. Long drive by Burrow. Watch this, baby. Out of here.
We were having fun. Baseball's a funny game. We were riding high following that sweep of the Cardinals. Then came the road trip from hell.
To the plate, and he's out at home plate.
First, we were swept by the Brewers. No excuses. That should never have happened. We were lucky enough to get one in St. Louis.
Here, home run, Jim Colby. Phillies have taken a 5.
Hey, there's my brother Chuck.
First lead on this road trip, thanks to Jim.
Then it was on to Montreal in the low point of the season.
Took a bad hop on Rollins. That was a dead double play ball, and instead, I don't know if Jim...
It was like we forgot how to play. Wolfie had the worst outing of his career.
9-0 Montreal here in the second inning.
The next night, the Expos scored 10 runs in the last 2 innings.
Off the glove of Utley. I can't believe what I am seeing. Whatever can go wrong has gone wrong for the Bills on this trip. Well hit in the gap in left center field. Could it be? It is out of here! Grand slam home run, Marlon Bird.
Marlon Bird got his first grand slam, but that wasn't enough. To make matters worse, Terry Adams went on the DL, and that really messed up our bullpen. Finally, it was over. A 4-game sweep. We were 1-9 on the road trip, and Boa went nuts. He pretty much aired us out, saying he was embarrassed about the last 10 days. There was a month to go, and the wild card was still up in the air. The Marlins had been losing too.
Rounded sharply, J-Roll, nice grab.
Amazingly, on August 28th, there was a 5-way tie for the wild card. I don't know if it was Bo's meeting, but we suddenly turned on the Jets and came together as a unit.
Al Cormier, a 1-2-3 ninth, and Kevin Millwood, 8 strong innings for the win.
Back at the wall. What a catch by Pat Burrell. Wow. Ripped into right center field, a base hit, Randy Wall. Wow, what a big 2-out run that is.
Phillies win their second in a row on this trip behind Randy Wolf.
Good fastball. Ooh, man.
Smashed to be the opposite field. Watch that, baby. Ground ball shortstop. He'll get one, might get two. Double play. Game over. Phillies win by a score of 4-1. Great pitching in this series.
We swept the Mets to end the road trip.
Plesac stretches the 0-1.
Then went 6-1 at home.
Out of the mound, funny hop, but Plesac's got it. Close to first. Put this one in the win column for the Vikings.
Part of our resurgence was due to the hot bat of Mike Lieberthal.
Base hit, left center field, game over. Phillies win by a score of 6-5 on a 2-out RBI single. Mike Lieberthal.
Usually catchers wear down in September.
Lieberthal delivered.
But Mike was coming alive.
Win for the Phillies after giving up the lead 9 to coming back in the bottom of the ninth.
The only glitch in our September run was that Jose Mesa seemed to have hit a wall. He was in a funk and it was happening at the worst time. Boa was going to have to manage the bullpen by the seat of his pants.
Back to Cormier, a 1-2-3 save for Raul Cormier as he saves it for Vicente Padilla.
Real was a real rock in that bullpen. What a job he did. Meanwhile, down in Atlanta,
well hit to deep right. It's got a chance. It is out of here. Grand slam home run, Tomas Perez.
That ball is hammered to deep center field. Back it goes. It's a grand slam home run for Jason Michael.
And those bench dogs were still barking. It's funny, the Braves ran away with the division, but we matched up with them pretty well. We won the season series for the first time since '91.
Franco's rung up, and that'll end the ball game.
But it was now the Marlins who stood between us and the postseason. And it was time for a showdown in Philly. Game 1. The Marlins had a game-and-a-half lead going in. That's when we erupted.
Deep to right field. There's a long one. Jim Tomey goes deep to right. It's 7-0 Phils on Tomey's 41st home run.
Well hit to deep left. Out of here. Home run, Mike Lieberthal, a grand slam, and the Phillies lead it 13-0.
Levy knocked in 6 runs on the way to a 14-0 win. Vicente won his 14th, giving the team 4 pitchers with that many wins for the first time in 100 years.
It's for Vicente Padilla.
The next night, we battled them hard.
Comes back to get him. That's 6 strikeouts. Powering drive. Watch this, baby. Out of here. And this game is tied at 3 here in the third. Number 42 for Toby.
And the big boy comes up big once again.
But old veteran Jeff Conine found his Superman cape and performed some magic.
This ball's out of here.
Deep left field. Back she goes. Oh, what a play by Conine. Unbelievable play by Conine.
With Hurricane Isabel heading for Philadelphia and a high-pressure area occupying the Phillies dugout, the storm finally broke. And that set the stage for Game 3. The game was switched to the afternoon in an effort to miss Isabel, and a weird vibe was present from the start. The few fans who braved the weather really got their money's worth.
Pitch, breaking ball, popped him up into shallow right. The wind's going to carry it out. It is dropped by Lee. 1 scores. Here comes another one. 2 score. This game is tied at 3, and the wind helps the Phillies here at Veterans Stadium.
And the Marlins are back on top 4-3 here in the top half of the 6th inning.
The Marlins. I had a thing against them ever since they beat my Indians in Game 7 of the '97 series.
Long drive into deep right center field. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Jim Thome has put the Phillies in front. 5-4 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. His 43rd, and what a big one for Mr. Thome.
How big has this guy come up?
Comes back, game over. Phillies win 5-4.
It was a huge win, and the next night we went back into the wild card lead. With 8 games left, we had a half a game lead and controlled our own destiny. That's when the wheels fell off. To me, the key to our downfall was the next 2 games versus the Reds. We were beaten by a bunch of hungry kids and prideful veterans.
To second, won the relay and the double play.
A classic spoiler situation. Whatever it was, they had thrown us off our game.
Runner goes and is popped up, and this is a chance to be a double play, but nobody can catch it.
No excuses. We should have taken at least 2 out of 3. By the time we got to Florida, it was do or die, and we ran smack into a big load of destiny.
Line drive deep left. This ball's out of here. My, oh my. Jeff Godine. The Marlins have come back to take game 1 of the critical 3-game series. This is well hit to left field, out of here. Fly ball left field. Coleman puts it away. Game over. Florida is hung on to win by a score of 6-5. Struck him out.
This was obviously the Marlins' year. They were on a rocket to the top.
The Marlins have swept this 3-game series and eliminated the Phils from wild card hopes.
Sure, it was disappointing to come this far and to lose a playoff spot in the last week. But I look at it as a springboard for next year. There's nobody in this division we can't compete with.
1 pitch. Swing and a looper into right field. It's going to drop for a hit. Phils win by a score of 5-4 here in the 11th inning.
I believe that Pat Burrow will rebound from this season, and you'll see a real power surge in left field.
Being waved around as Bell, the throw to the plate, and he's safe.
And a healthy David Bell will make a huge difference. Philadelphia didn't get to see the real David Bell this year. Believe me, he can cut it.
Bell, what a play by David Bell.
Our defense is solid, and this lineup has a chance to put up monster numbers.
The Phillies have hit 2 grand slams in this game.
The rotation is strong with Wolf, Myers, and Padilla. 3 great young arms. And bringing back Kevin gives us a strong presence at the top of the rotation. I'm sure glad he's back. Then Ed Wade went out and really strengthened the rotation.
Happy for the opportunity. I know
Sean Green able to average that.
I'm glad that the Phillies wanted me this badly, and I'm just going to come there and try to win. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about playing baseball and winning.
I like this guy a lot.
The Phillies have spent a lot of time in the news this offseason, and all for the right reasons, such as the case again today. Free agent pitcher Tim Worrell has signed with the Phillies a 2-year deal worth a reported $5.5 million.
But the biggest move was getting Billy Wagner to anchor the bullpen. He's such a stud. One of the top 3 closers in the league. He throws high-octane gas. I think Larry will be able to breathe a little easier in late innings next year. Man, I wish it could start tomorrow. But there still was one final chapter in this 2003 saga. We had to give a proper farewell to the vet. Probably the only good thing about being eliminated was that I got a chance to sit back and absorb all the history and tradition of my new team. I only got to spend 1 year at the vet, and by the end, I wish I could have known it a little longer. Still, it's a year I'll never forget. I was glad we had one more comeback win in us.
Pitch, had a green light, hits it over the middle, off the glove of Garcia, base hit center field, Kobe scores, Phillies wins 7-6 here at Veterans Stadium. A dramatic comeback by the Phillies, who tie the game off John Smoltz in the ninth and win it here in the 10th by a score of 7-6.
The final day was filled with emotion. You try to treat it like any other day, but we all knew it wasn't. And then the final celebration. An hour-long parade of living history. I was humbled to be a part of it. And when Mike did that, it was a storybook ending to one of the best years of my life.
Now for the final moment on this great ball field here at Veterans Stadium. Final moment to take to the mound. It's time to get one last out. Who do you call on?
job, Tugger. We'll see you on opening day.
And now, Veterans Stadium is like a 3-1 pitch to Michael Jack or to Jim Thome. It's on a long drive. It's out of here. God bless you.
And so it was over. We had properly put the past to rest. And now it was time to look to the future. Great things are on the horizon around here. You're going to see an exciting young team in a beautiful new baseball palace. A team and a city that's ready to win.